Let's be real for a second. This was supposed to be that tall, fluffy, iconic Cheesecake Factory brown bread. But instead, it collapsed. But here's the thing, it tasted incredible. I attempted a copycat version of that famous restaurant brown bread using fresh milled flour. It overproofed its bread and it didn't give me those neat sandwich slices. But I'm going to show you why that happened so you don't make that mistake. If you have ever been to Cheesecake Factory, you know that the bread is arguably the best part of the meal. It's sweet, soft, and has that deep brown color. Usually that color comes from caramel color and the texture comes from artificial additives. Since I'm all about real food, I wanted to achieve that look and flavor using real ingredients. To get that signature brown color without the additives, I used unsweetened cacao powder and a bit of molasses. These add antioxidants and iron, not just the color. And here I added my active sourdough starter along with some commercial yeast. Now here's where the variable changes. I milled my own flour. If you are curious why I use fresh milled flour in my recipes, I will link the video here that explains the benefits. But in short, it retains all the fiber and germ, which is great for your gut microbiome. However, it also changes the rules of baking completely. Here's the chemistry lesson I learned hard way. Fresh milled flour is biologically active. It is full of nutrients and enzymes. When you combine those enzymes with active sourdough starter, which is colony of bacteria and yeast, you essentially create a hyperactive environment. The enzymes in fresh milled flour break down the starches into sugar much faster than the aged white flour does. The yeast eats those sugars and produces gas. This fermentation process happens rapidly. Right from the mixing, my hydration was too high for the fresh milled flour. Between milk and the sourdough starter, this dough was more than 100% hydration. That made it soft and shaggy instead of cohesive. During stretch and folds, the dough never became elastic. That was a key warning sign. With whole grain dough, it should feel smoother and stronger with each fold. This one stayed loose and fragile. That tells me that gluten strength never fully developed. By the way, I'm Dr. Desai. I'm a board certified physician and a culinary medicine specialist. If you are new here, my goal is to help you feel lighter and less bloated without giving up on the foods that you love eating. For example, nice warm brown bread. And if you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to subscribe for more healthy bread recipes. At this point, the fermentation continued even though the structure was not strong yet. With fresh milled dough, the fermentation can outpace the gluten development, especially when the hydration is high. When I went to shape the dough, it was very wet and hard to shape. That's the another sign that the dough did not have enough strength. Well-developed dough should hold surface tension when shaping. By the way, if you want to find out the safe ways to eat carbohydrates without spiking your blood sugar, check out the link below. During the second rise, I let the dough go a bit too far. Because the structure was already weak, even a small amount of overproofing can cause the gluten network to stretch beyond its limit. In the oven, the bread rose, but instead of springing upwards, it spread sideways. That horizontal line is a classic sign of structural failure from poor gluten development along with overproofing. This isn't underbaked. It's not raw. It's simply a dough that could not support itself. With whole grain fresh milled dough, hydration, gluten development, and proofing timing all matter. And when one is off, the final loaf shows it. Okay, moment of truth. It's flat, and the crumb is dense and tight because the dough didn't develop enough strength before baking. But let's chat about the taste. It has subtle sweetness from honey and molasses and depth of flavor from cacao powder. It's delicious. If this happens to you, don't throw it away. This is perfect for dipping in soup and toasting with butter. So, the lesson here, next time I'm gonna start with a procedure called autolyse, where I let the flour and milk sit for some time before adding another ingredients. Reduce the amount of liquid in the recipe and letting it ferment less during the final rise. I will take that trade off, learning the unique characteristics of real ingredients any day over eating standardized processed bread that can spike my blood sugar.